What's up, everybody? Here we are, 1 week from Christmas. We got 1 week, Christmas 2023. So, what does that look like in the real estate world? Well, I can tell you in the suburbs, most of the agents have already shut it down, which I think is a huge mistake. And the great agents, which I'll talk about in a little while, are all systems go, regardless of the holidays, regardless of all the holiday parties, traveling, they don't stop. The agents in New York City, most of them don't stop. So, what I want to talk about today is a topic that everyone is always asking me about: lead generation. Lead generation. There's a lot of third party companies out there that are all trying to get your business, trying to get your money. They have a lot of slick talking people. They have some great visual effects and commercials and ads and all of that, which by design are great. And they're trying to get you to buy something or buy into their lead generation. There are some good ones out there. There are some pretty much scams out there. I'm not here to talk about which ones are good or which ones aren't good. What I want to talk about is what good is lead generation if you're not good at what you do? What good is getting 50 leads a week if you don't know how to talk to people? If you can't separate yourself from the normal agent, if you can't showcase your value and talk about the statistics and the market and the trends and the get down to the finite details of a neighborhood or a house or whatever the case may be, days on market, what good is lead generation if you can't do those things? Lead generation is important, don't get me wrong, but I think conversion should be what you're focusing on. All right. I rather convert a few people a week, 4, 5, than get 50 leads that I can't close, or 50 leads that I get in front of and I fumble the ball because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not buttoned up, which is what we talk about here a lot. So I want to talk about conversion, lead generation, conversion. How do the top agents, how are they constantly getting business, getting more business? They convert. You want to get to the point in this business where you're pretty much referral based. I know some agents in Manhattan, they make a ton of money. They make money every single year. They do everything from rentals to super high-end sales. 30 million, $40 million apartments. And they are constantly at the top of the list every year. A lot of them don't do any marketing. Do I agree with that or not? It's not my place, it's their business. I think they should market a little bit, but they don't have to. All right? They're at the point where they are purely running on referrals, which is amazing. That's what you want to do. They help somebody, that person calls their friend, talks about them, introduces them, and it just starts to compound. So they literally, I know a team, two guys, they're awesome. I'm not going to name their names. They when I started in the business, so granted, I had nothing, no sales. I had a couple rentals under my belt and brand new to the office, and they were the top team. All right, two guys. And they made a ton of money. They were a well-oiled machine and they tapped into their SOI. They were always networking. Not I didn't see any marketing. No, I didn't really see any mailers or any email campaigns or drip campaigns or anything like that. But they just worked their sphere. They worked their contacts. They helped me every step of the way. They let me sit next to them. Their desk was kind of close to mine and just observe and watch and learn. And someone like me, I want to learn from the best. They had a great reputation. They presented well. They were buttoned up. They always dressed nice. They were always involved in the office. and they were just positive people. They didn't bash the company, they didn't talk shit about anything. And they're like, "You want to learn? Pull up a chair. Any questions, just ask away." And I remember my first co-op deal. So co-ops are there's a lot of buildings in Manhattan that aren't condos, they're co-ops. And there's something called a board package. And some of them in some buildings can get pretty detailed and lengthy. And I remember getting my first deal in a co-op sale. I was nervous. I was afraid. Because if you mess up the package, you're done. Your client doesn't get it, and they're very particular. It's almost like a book report in high school. If you ever had to do one, there's like a cover and there's different sections, and if one page is off or misnumbered, they can strike the whole deal. The deal's dead. And if the deal's dead, your client's going to get pissed at you. You lost that business and future business. So they sat me down and they walked me through the process. And I could not be more grateful for their guidance and wisdom. There are some really good agents that give back, and this is just a great example of that. But anyway, getting back to it, they still are driven on just referral based. That's what you want to get to. When you're starting out in the business, obviously you have to market yourself. You have to present a certain way. If you don't have a ton of people in your book or a big network, you have to market. So, my whole point to all of this, I wanted to talk about everyone is focused on lead generation. Now, a part of me agrees with that. You should be. You need to get leads. More leads could lead to, and it should lead to more conversion, which is more business and more money. That's what we want to do. But I think people put conversion kind of on the back burner and they focus just on getting leads and getting leads. I think if you perfect the skill of conversion, that's where I think time should be spent and focused on. You want to, like I said, what good is 50 leads if you can't convert any of them? That is a waste of time. And especially if you're spending your money getting these leads and not converting, you're wasting your money. You might as well just throw it out because it's not working for you. What I suggest is learning, researching, reading how to convert leads. Whether they're hot or cold leads, it does not matter. You want to be able to convert leads. The way to do that is obviously you have to know how to speak to people. Everyone is different in this world, and some people need to be spoken to a certain way and others a different way. You need to be able to speak to all different types of people. You need to show that you are the source and you provide the value when it comes to knowledge in real estate and knowledge transfer, as I call it in real estate. You want to be looked at a certain level, professionalism, respect, and you do this every day. They don't. So there is no dumb question. Bring your questions to me. I'm happy to answer them. For some reason, if I don't know the answer, I will find out for you. And you want to separate yourselves from the normal run of the mill agent that just burns through people and doesn't know what they're doing. They're not buttoned up. They don't add any value. Listen, as we're going closer, we're right at the end of 2023. 2024 is right around the corner. I'm telling you, you hear it on multiple different platforms. You hear it from a lot of different coaches as well. I hear it. People are going to want better service. They want better value. Where does that, in my opinion, fall? That's conversion. All right. You can be the best at the leads, but if you don't convert them, you're wasting your time. So the name of the game is conversion. The best agents convert every single time. The team I'm speaking about, if they, because I've witnessed this, if one of their previous clients gave them a name, a referral, it doesn't matter hot, cold, if they're speaking to 5 other agents or they've never spoken to another agent, they're closing that person. They they don't care, they don't need details. They're going to talk to the person, they're going to end up being a client. Why is that? Because they listen. You have to listen to what the client's needs and wants are. Everyone's different. Yeah, everyone might have to sell a property, but the details in that sale are always different. Some people have to sell because of financial things. Some people have to sell because they're getting transferred. There's a story in every single sale. What you have to do to convert them when you're meeting them to hopefully get that listing is listen and mentally take notes of what their needs and wants are. A lot of agents tend to steamroll through the meeting and they want to talk at people and they just want to push them into signing with them. If you sign with me today, and then all the bells and whistles and gimmicks come out. The best agents just are calm, cool, and collective. They listen and they react accordingly because every situation's different. You can't be too aggressive, you can't be too passive. It's a fine dance you got to do when you're interviewing for a listing. All right? You want to be able to get your conversion rates up. The only way to do that is to get more of them. So you get more at bats and then you perfect your skill. You sharpen your sword and you learn from your mistakes or you learned how you could have did things differently. Take note of that and try it on the next one. All right. Everybody wants to be successful. That's a great thing. You should be successful, but not everybody is. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't make it past their first year once they get licensed in the real estate world. They can't convert. Get good at your craft. Study things, read books. There's plenty of videos on YouTube for motivational speaking, how to speak to somebody, body language, how to close more deals, and how to do it in a way where you put your own spin on it, where now you're tying in your personal branding, your personal marketing, you combine everything, and you're in now you hit year 2 in the business, year 3 in the business, and your years compound now. Oh, I got 5 listings last year in my first year. That's great. That's awesome. How do you get that 5 to 8 or 10? Then how do you get that 10 to 20 or 30? It's all possible. You just double down on what's working and you try to fix or negate the things that aren't working. And when that all of that happens, your conversion goes through the roof. Now you want to focus on lead generation. And you might want to now invest your money in lead generation because you are so good at converting that if you do pay for one of these third party services and you get 50 leads a week, now we're talking 50 leads a week. You might convert 40 to 45. Yeah, you're off and running. You're now it's worth it. But I think, the chicken or the egg, what comes first? I think you have to get good at converting, which is just learning your craft and absorbing the information, playing on the MLS, going to open houses, talking to other successful agents, talking to the public, seeing what people want at open houses, get the feel of the market. All of that ties into your conversion because you can speak better to a client when they have questions or when you meet somebody and they start talking about real estate. So I say focus on your conversion because the leads will come naturally with your marketing, which we spoke about a few episodes ago. I'm going to do more on marketing going forward. But when you get good at converting and you have your marketing in the background running and the calls start coming, the emails, the texts start coming in, you're converting now. And you're becoming really good at servicing your clients. That word will spread. So the referrals will go up naturally. Your marketing is going to get more and more dialed in. You're going to get more people. When you reach a certain point and financially, maybe you set some money aside, another way to market is invest in a lead generator. Now, do your research. There's a lot of slick talking people out there and a lot of programs that might work in like Boise, Idaho, no offense, but it's not going to work in Manhattan. It's not going to work in Westchester, Fairfield counties right outside the city. That's fine. There are some that will work. And now it's time to invest. That you're good at your craft, it'll be worth the investment. The return on investment will be positive. That's when it makes sense. When you're brand new out of the gate, I don't think you should be spending money on lead conversion. That's just my opinion. And a lot of my clients don't do that. They perfect the conversion before they even step foot into the lead generation world. Because conversion can go into all your other different areas naturally. You do it on a day-to-day basis. So when you tie in your marketing, now we're talking about social media platforms, your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Google Business, all of that stuff naturally becomes a lead generator in the beginning. Get good at conversion, showcase yourself a certain way, and just go out and crush it. And we all have days we don't want to do things, but you have to put that voice aside and keep going. This business, you hear me say it all the time, is all about momentum. Once you have it, you have to double down on it because it's going to take twice as long to start it all up again if you stop. So it's the holidays. Literally, at least in the suburbs, 90% of agents are shutting it down or already shut it down. They're in party mode, which is fine. You can still party and do business. The best ones are closing deals. They're going on listing appointments. I know people that are going on listing appointments this week and right after Christmas and before New Year's. Because when people need to buy or sell, it doesn't matter what's going on. And you want to be ready for that. And don't complain when someone else gets the business because they're more hungry or they put the time in or they are working all their systems and they have an end goal. So you can be an agent that shuts it down and then you have to start all over again beginning of January, which to me, okay, you get back the first, let's call it the second week of January. You took 2 or 3 weeks off. You have to put 2 or 3 weeks back into just generating some momentum. Now we're into February, mid-February. The big thing in the suburbs is spring market. Meanwhile, as time goes on, there's markets 24/7, 365. But spring market, let's call it, you're just getting rolling and spring market is here. People have already signed in January or even February early to list their properties March or April, got their properties ready to put on the market, and you're just like waking up from your hibernation from the holidays and you've missed that chunk of time. Don't be that agent. Or if you are, then don't complain about it. All right. You want to be the agents that have business lined up in your pipeline all the way through the new year, February, March, spring market hits. I'm bringing 5 or 6 properties to market. I have 5 or 6 buyers, and you're just going and going and going, which is what we want to do. All right. I don't want to talk too much about this, but we'll get into marketing or whatever in later episodes. But I wanted to talk about lead generation versus conversion. Conversion is key, in my opinion. Get good at converting, it will pay dividends. Then, when you know you are on point and a closer, now invest in lead generation and your business will compound and skyrocket. All right. Thanks for listening. Any questions, let me know. And follow me, YouTube, Instagram. It's all good. Thanks again and go crush it. Have a good rest of the week.